Hey YouTube, I wanted to start a YouTube channel for like a year now, and I'm so like angry at myself because I could have been started it, but that's okay. I told myself I'm going to start it today, and this is going to be my very first YouTube video. So I want to tell you guys, I thought to myself, what could be a good starter to a YouTube channel? A story time. Everybody loves story times. I love watching story times on YouTube. So I figured I would tell you guys a crazy story about my first anxiety attack. So I don't have anxiety. I've never had an attack after this situation, but for some reason I had an anxiety attack, and it was
for the dumbest reason, the stupidest reason,
the funniest reason. When I look back on this story and I tell this story, it's so funny. Like, people look at me like you're crazy. So a little bit about myself. I grew up very sheltered. My parents were very strict. I wasn't allowed to do much, go many places, by myself, for a good reason. Like, you don't want your kids getting into stuff, getting into trouble, making bad decisions and choices. So I ain't really mad at my parents. But when you're at that age, when you're younger, you want to be independent, you want to be grown, you want to be older than what you actually are. So that's exactly what I was trying to do. So I had a cousin that was older than me, and I always wanted to hang with her. Like, I always wanted to roll with the big dogs. So I was around 13 or 14, and she was around 17, and she had told my dad that she was basically going to like an all-girl gathering, because that was the only way he was actually like gonna let me go. If she would have just told him what she was actually doing, he would have never let me go. So she was really going to see her boyfriend. So when we got there, I did not know. I thought that she was legit, inviting me to a girls' gathering. So when we get there, her boyfriend is there, his friends, she invited some friends. So I'm like, I'm not saying anything because I wanted to be a part of it. Like, I didn't want to be the corny one. I didn't want to be left out. I wanted to be, I wanted to have fun like everybody else. So she, as the time goes by, is this one guy
that keeps eyeballing me the entire night.
And like I said before, I was very sheltered. I wasn't allowed to talk to boys. I wasn't allowed to be alone with boys. I wasn't allowed to have male friends. So I didn't know what he was doing. So it was making me like hella uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, why you keep looking at me? Like, giving him major attitude. Like, I don't know why he keep looking at me, but now I have an issue. So I was uncomfortable. I'm telling her, like, he keeps staring at me. He keeps staring at me. The whole time, he's doing what boys do. Boys and girls are attracted to each other, and that's the normal thing, and I understand that now, but at the time I didn't understand it. And so he just found me attractive. So I'm telling her, she's like, it's okay. She's trying to school me. Boys like girls. He think that you're cute. It's not that deep. Just go about your night. So I'm like, okay. So we go upstairs. We're all chilling in the middle room. So at this point, it's just me, him, her, and the boyfriend. So he gets up. He gets a phone call or whatever the case may be. So he leaves the room. And my cousin and her boyfriend, they're whispering in each other's ear. And they decide to go in the next room and sleep with each other. They wanted to smash each other. So she goes over to me and she's like, I'll be back. You wait here. I'll be back in a little bit, in a few minutes. So I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. At the time, I'm a virgin. So I'm like, okay. She says she'll be back. They get up and leave the room. Now I'm in the room by myself. So I'm just like, okay, just chilling or whatever on my phone. And what do I hear? I hear them in the next room acting like wild rabbits. So they're doing what adults do or whatever. So they're doing that. So I'm like a virgin. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but this is so awkward. So I turn on the TV. In walks in the guy that has been eyeballing me all night. So he comes in the room. He turns the TV off. I mean, he turns the light off. He closes the door and locks the door. You cannot tell me at that instant that he was not trying to do something to me. My heart literally dropped into my butt. Like, my heart was racing. I was sweating. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. Like, this is going to be the end of it. All because I wanted to be older than what I am. So he comes in, he sits on the bed. Now, only the TV is on. He's like, what's your name? Like, the only thing he didn't ask me was my age. So he's a good maybe like 18 and I'm like 13 or 14. So I don't know if I looked older to him, but he's like,
What's your name? Where you live at? What school you go to? You got a boyfriend?
So I'm ignoring him because I'm like, this man's gonna kill me. I didn't know that he liked me, so he was trying to holler at me. He was trying to have conversation. He was trying to talk to me. Okay.
Talk to me. Okay.
So I'm like so uncomfortable. So after I'm ignoring him, he's like, you're just gonna keep ignoring me? So I'm looking dead at the TV. He's like talking right here. I'm like, no, I'm not making no sudden movements, nothing. He gets up. Let me tell you what boy does.
He gets up and turns the TV off. The freaking TV off.
So it is pitch black in this room. I died. Actually, I didn't die. I almost died. I'm about to tell you when I actually died. He turns the TV off. My heart is racing so bad. I feel like I'm about to pass out. He goes and places his hand on my thigh and starts rubbing me. I jumped up so fast and I screamed to the top of my lungs. Like, I screamed to the top. No, literally, like, when you hear somebody scream, like, to the top of their lungs. Have you ever people scream, like, when you're about to get killed? That's how I scream.
Like,
Like, everybody in the house heard me. That's how loud I scream. I jumped up. I opened the door, ran to the room, the front room that my cousin is in. It's locked, of course. They're doing it. So I'm banging on the door. I'm calling her name. I'm like, he's trying to do something to me. I'm crying. He came out the room like, what's wrong? And because him doing what boys do. He's like, oh my God, you're old. Like, I didn't mean it. Da-da-da. She opened the door. She goes in the room. What are you doing? I'm like, he's trying to do something to me. And just like hysterical. Like, it's like literally like when I think about it and I tell people me and her. So when we tell this story, like, it's the funniest thing ever. Like, now that I look back on it, like, at it, it's like, oh my God, like that, like I was so like extra, like I was so young and sheltered, like it just wasn't that deep, but it was that deep at the moment. And so of course I interrupted her doing what they were doing, and she's like, I ran down the steps and I ran out the house, and
I'm literally outside like
I can't breathe. I'm crying. I'm hot. I'm about to pass out. I need some water. So she run down the step after me. She's outside. She's like, calm down. He didn't know that you were younger. He was just trying to talk to you and yada yada yada. And I'm like, no, because he shouldn't have touched me. Girl. That messed up her night, because I was like, you gotta take me home. She was like, you wanted to come, and I'm like, I didn't know that you was gonna be here doing this and leaving me alone, and did it. You could tell that she was trying to help me like calm down, but she was mad. She was like, I need to finish what I'm doing. Like, girl, you in the way. And I was like, I need to go home now. So she was like, you gotta come in the house. And literally the thought of coming in the house was
giving me more anxiety. I'm like, I cannot go in this house. Like, if I go in this house, this man's gonna chop my head off. He's going, I don't know what he's gonna do. Flush it down the toilet and listen, do something to my corpse.
She was like, you're so extra. And I'm like,
no, I can't go in this house.
So she's like, okay, just stay on the steps. I'm gonna go get my stuff and we're gonna leave. I'm gonna get whatever. So she leave the door open. It's like some girls downstairs. So she's tell them, she's like, just watch her because I'm on the step. I'm like, I can't go in this house. If I go in this house, I'm gonna die. So she's like, just sit on the step. They're gonna watch you. It took her 15 minutes to get her clothes and her food so we can go. She went upstairs.
What you doing? What took you so long? I'm angry. I'm digging. Like, I'm
You right, you left me out here. She like, no, I don't leave you out here. So I end up calling my dad because I could not go back in the house. Like, I could not. I was absolutely over, like, over it. I was done. I was over it. I was like, this had never happened to me before. I couldn't feel my stomach. I couldn't feel my legs. I was like, this is serious. I've never experienced it before. And it was the guilt. It was like, oh my God, I wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. And I'm trying to be grown. And I'm trying to do stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. And now I'm in this situation. And if my dad find out, he's going to kill me. Like, it was the guilt. It was the guilt that drove me to, I cannot go back in that house. And so I called my dad. And he's like, mind you, this is over a period of an hour. He's like, why y'all need to get picked up so soon when he gets there? And I'm like, hiding it. I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling well. My stomach hurt. And of course, she ain't gonna say nothing because I didn't know I was going in the first place. I thought I was going to a gathering. And so she would have said, oh, she, you know, had a panic attack because a boy was trying to touch her. My dad was gonna wring her neck. So I'm like, I ain't gonna get her in trouble because I did say I wanted to go. And she was like, all right, let me not, you know, say what it is. So I'm like, you know, my stomach was just hurting and I just need to go to sleep. I'm sorry, Dad. Like, but yeah, that was my first anxiety attack. Well, only because I haven't had an anxiety attack after that. But that was the time when I had an anxiety attack. So ridiculous. Like, when I think about it now, I'm older and I have kids and I'm like, wow, like I really was freaking out like over a boy like trying to talk to me. Like, it just wasn't that deep. But whatever case may be, yeah, so this is gonna be my very first video to go on my channel. I don't have a name yet, so by the time I put this up, hopefully I'll think of something. If not, just bear with me. Maybe a name will come along the way. I don't know. I don't even know if I introduced myself in the beginning of this video, but my name is Amira. And hopefully you guys like this video. Thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And I'm gonna try to post videos as often as possible. I have a busy life. I have 2 sons, so I have a really hectic life. But I want to jump into this YouTube thing. I wanted to do this for, you know, a really long time. So hopefully this can like really grow on me as like a deep passion. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Comment down below. I'm open to all suggestions. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas for next videos, I don't know. I'm kind of just going to roll with it. Kind of what you see is what you get. So I'll talk to you guys later. All right.